So now it's time to see how we can connect our resources that they're on AWS to CloudConnexa using IPsec. As you can see, I'm logged into my CloudConnexa admin user interface. Click on Networks and go to Networks. For this scenario here, we're going to choose Remote Access and click on Continue. Let's give it a name here for our network, and then for the tunneling protocol, we're going to choose IPsec here. And we need to give a name to our connector as well. So I'm just going to call it OVN Lab connector. Oops, let me fix this. Here we go. OVN Lab. Can't type today. Okay. And then we need to choose the region closest to our resources. For me, it's going to be San Jose. And then we're going to click Next. Once you click next on the next window, now we can see our the information. Obviously, it's offline because we haven't done anything yet, but we can see our region. We can see the tunneling protocol IPsec and the CloudConnexa public IP address. Now, below that, we need to choose the platform that we're going to deploy on. So AWS, we're going to choose. But you can see other cloud providers available, compatible routers available as well. So AWS is what we're doing for this webinar, and I'm going to choose that. Once you do that, you can see there are a couple of instructional videos below that. One is for connecting AWS VPC to CloudConnexa using Transit Gateway, and the other one is Virtual Private Gateway. Today, we're going to use Virtual Private Gateway, and we're going to talk about the differences in a few minutes. But I'm just going to bypass this part, but it's a good reference point if you trying to set up your connection with IPsec. Now, this is where we need to look at the AWS configuration details, the static IP prefixes, gateway. These are stuff that we're going to use in a second. And then step 2, we're going to come back to the step 2 after we're done with configuring our AWS. So we're going to head out to AWS, and here we go. You can see my VPC. Obviously, my VPC is already set up because I've already using my resources. My subnet is 192.168.0.0/20. The very first thing we need to do here is create a virtual private gateways. So under virtual private network, we're going to click on VPG and then create new one. Let's give it a name here. And this is a pretty simple step, basically. Here we go. And then for the ASN, I'm just going to leave it as Amazon default. And if you have other tags, you can add them, but we're going to click on Create Virtual Private Gateway. And here we go. This normally takes only a few seconds. Let me refresh this. And here we go. It's done, but as you can see, it's detached. So we need to attach this to our VPC. So let's select this from the action. We're going to choose Attach to VPC. Again, pretty simple step. Click on the drop down here and choose your VPC. And for me, let me type this. OVN, here we go. And this is the VPC that we need to use. And then attach the VPC. This attaching normally takes about a minute or so, but we don't have to wait for it. I'm gonna move forward while this is attaching. Let me try one more time. Yeah, it's still attaching. So the next step is creating a site-to-site VPN. So again, scroll down on your menu and choose a site-to-site VPN connection. And then we're going to click on Create VPN Connection. First, we need to give it a name. So here we go. Give it a name here. And then for the target gateway, we're going to use Virtual Private Gateway again, and we're going to choose the VPG that we just created a minute ago. So let me select that here. And then for customer gateway, if you've already created one, you can choose the existing one. I didn't do that. I skipped that step, so I'm going to create one here. So I'll choose new. And once you choose new, we need to type the IP address. This is where we're going to go back to CloudConnexa and copy the gateway IP address. This is what we need to use. And I'm going to paste it here. For the certificate ARN, I'm just going to leave it as is. And then BGP ASN, we don't really need to worry about because IPsec VPN is going to use static routing. So BGP ASN doesn't really matter here. So routing options is going to be static. And now we need to type the static IP prefixes here. Again, going back to CloudConnexa, we can see the prefixes here. One is the WPC subnet and the other one is domain routing subnet. So we need to copy these one at a time. We can do both at the same time. So I'm just going to copy first one here and then paste it here and then go back and copy the second one. Here we go. And go back to AWS and paste it here. And this is it. So we're done with the for the remainder of fields or options here. Those are optionals. I'm going to leave them as default and click on Create VPN Connections. Now, this is going to take a few minutes, normally a couple of minutes to create. As you can see, it's pending right now. But let's take this time and talk about VPG and transit gateway, virtual private gateway and transit gateway. If you're setting up an IPsec VPN connection to your VPC using a virtual private gateway, keep in mind that's only give you access to resources inside that specific VPC. Now, if you got public resources like public applications or IP services, then you need to be reachable through this VPC. So you want to go with transit gateway instead. Here's why. A virtual private gateway is designed to connect your on-premises network to just one Amazon VPC within a region. It's great if you're working with a single VPC setup, but if you've got multiple VPCs or need internet access, a transit gateway is the way to go. So if your setup is simple and contained, stick with the VPG. For anything more complex or involving multiple VPCs or public access, transit gateway is your best bet. Okay, let's go ahead and refresh this. And here we go. Our site-to-site VPN is done and status shows available. So let's select this and download configuration file. So I'm going to click on download. Here for the vendor, we're going to choose generic. And once you do that, the rest of the stuff is going to be auto-populated. Platform is going to be generic and software is going to be vendor agnostics and the IKE version. So let's go ahead, click on download. And the file is downloaded. Now we're going to head back to CloudConnexa. We're done with this step one. We need to move to step two, set up CloudConnexa tunnels. And first we need to upload this file we just downloaded. So I'm going to click on upload here, and here we go. And then I choose the file. And as you can see, all the information auto-populates under the tunnels. We're done. This is it basically. It's pretty simple. Now we can test our connection. Let's go ahead and test connection on tunnel 1. So I'm going to click on test connection here. And here we go. We're connected. Green light. Let's test the tunnel 2. And this one also should come back. Here we go. We got both connected, both green light. Next, move forward. Click next. Now we got to the applications. So applications basically make it super easy to manage access to both public and private resources by simply using domain names. The best part of it is that you don't need to worry about configuring IP routing for your applications at all. CloudConnexa take care of everything, automatically routing traffic to your applications using just the domain name you've set up. We have to set up a DNS records. We're going to see that. It's pretty simple, but that's basically the concept beyond applications. So we're going to go ahead and add an application here. And for the name, I have an application name accounting. I'm going to choose accounting. Application type, this is where you're going to put the protocols or ports that you need for the application. You can choose any of these ports or configure custom ports. But for this webinar, I'm just going to leave it as all. Click to submit. And then the last part, we need to type the domain name. Mine is accounting.ovnlab.local. Click on add application. Here we go. And if you have other applications, we can add them here. Let's click on next. We don't have IP routes or IP services for the purpose of this webinar, and I'm just going to bypass this and click on next. Now we get to the access group. So basically, the access groups helps you set up access control policies to manage how user groups, hosts, networks, and applications or IP services interact with each other. So you can either create a new access group or update an existing one to include access to for any new networks or applications that we just added. For the purpose of this webinar, I'm not going to create any access groups. I'm just going to use the default one, the full mesh that we already have here. So let's go ahead and click on finish. And here we go. We can see that our network is connected online. Tunneling protocol is IPsec. If I go to applications, I can see my applications here. And if I go to connectors, I can see both connectors are up. Now, one last thing we need to do is add the DNS record. So the applications we have accounting.ovnlab.local. So we need to add our DNS records for this application. Let's go to DNS, scroll down to settings, and here we go, DNS. Obviously, if you have your own DNS servers, you plug in your DNS servers here, but we're going to add DNS record. Add DNS record, and the domain name is going to be accounting.ovnlab.local. Here we go. Let me choose this. And the private IP address for this server is 192.168.1.68, and add DNS record. Okay, we're done. Here, everything is good. Now we're going to go to users. And I already had a couple of users here, but I want to show you the user experience when the very first time you need to import their profile. So I'm going to create a new user. Let's call this user Sam. And then we can, for the user groups, again, this is a brand new environment. We don't have the groups, but if you have access groups, you can, or user groups, you can add user groups here. Let's put first name Sam, and then last name. Let's choose do, and then send an invitation email. A user is going to get an instruction, step-by-step instructions on how to download the Connect app and import his or her profile to that Connect app. So let's click on Add User. And here we go. Sam is added here, but you can see the account status still shows created, and that's because Sam hasn't logged in yet. The very first time he logs in and chooses a password, then it's going to be created or changed to created. So this is the email Sam got. If we click on the email, we can see there are some information such as cloud ID, username, and temporary password. And there is a step-by-step instructions on downloading the OpenVPN Connect app and importing the profile. So it's pretty simple. We're going to copy this here, and then I already have the Connect app installed, but there's only 4 steps that basically the users need to follow to do this. So again, copy the cloud ID. I'm going to bring my Connect app here and then paste the ID here. Let's go ahead, paste it, and then click on Next. Once you click on Next, it's going to tell you that authentication needed, again, because this is the first time Sam is logging in and he needs to import his profile. So we're going to get the temporary password here, and we know his username. So let's click on sign in, and here we go. So let me clean this up and fix this here, and then paste the temporary password. The very first time when a user logs in, they need to choose a password for themselves. So Sam is going to choose a new password here, and here we go. And we're going to click on and save. And again, the very first time when a user logs in, they need to choose the region closest to their location. So let's say that Sam is in Chicago. Let's Chicago. And then click on continue. Now it's going to ask if it can open the Connect app. Click on open it. And then it's going to confirm to import the profile. So we're going to confirm that. Now you can see Sam's profile is imported here. I have a lot of profiles here, but normally a user has his or her own profile in here. From now on, all Sam needs to do is just toggle the switch to connect. They don't need to do all those steps again. So we're going to connect Sam right now. So let's toggle the switch, and here we go. Sam is connected. Now we want to test our connection. So first, if I refresh my admin user interface, we can see Sam is online and the account status is changed to active. So I'm going to bring up a command prompt here. And if you remember, we have the applications accounting .ovnlab.local. So let's see if we can ping this server here. And ovnlab.local. And here we go, we get a reply back. Now, let's test the failover because we have two tunnels. See what happens if one of the tunnel goes out. So I'm going to bring the both connectors here. You can see both tunnels are up. Let's do a side-by-side window. Here we go. And I'm going to basically suspend my first tunnel or my main tunnel up here. So it's suspended. Here we go. Now, if we look at it, it shows offline. And look here, we got account unreachable for a second, but it came back on. So this is basically how the failover works here with the two tunnels. I'm going to resume my connection on this connector. So this is how basically we connect AWS resources to CloudConnexa using IPsec.